Hello, everyone. Oh my goodness, it is wonderful to be back with you again today. Oh, it has been a wonderful few weeks, and we are just continuing with a brilliant amount of things that I've been learning this week about Montserrat Masquerade. But firstly, thank you so much to Itua, who's been at Culture Club this week. She's going to be back again tomorrow, and I cannot wait to collaborate with her. We've been emailing away and getting things going. It's been great. As you can see, I have a Montserratian Madras fabric headdress on today, and I am so excited to share what I have been watching and looking at and learning this week with you. It is all about Montserrat Masquerade, and you can see a picture of what it looks like right here. I had the pleasure of witnessing this firsthand about 9 years ago, but I've had a wonderful whirlwind of a reintroduction to it this year by my very, very good friend, independent scholar and curator of the Montserrat National Museum, Dr. Clarice Barnes, who you can see here, without whom this workshop would not be possible. So thank you, Clarice, so much. What is Masquerade? Now, Masquerade happens all over the world and it takes place in very many different forms. And the first thing I asked myself was, what is it? Well, if you look in the dictionary, the word actually has a few definitions. So it can be an event or a dance or a party where people wear masks and disguises. A masquerade can be a literal behavior as well. So the purpose of which is to hide something or mask something. As a verb as well, to masquerade means that you are pretending to be or appearing to be something else. Now, the reasons for masquerade or masquerading are really varied. You can have it for entertainment, for enjoyment, for liberation, celebration, expression of religion and worship, and for freedom of anonymity. Now, with that freedom of anonymity you get being hidden behind a mask, you also have the freedom to poke fun at systems of oppression or even people, individuals who are in a place of power without the fear of being punished for it. In 2012, I was invited to Montserrat by my dear friend Dr. Clarice Barnes to give a fundraising concert at Christmas time, and I hadn't really imagined what to expect from Montserrat at Christmas. I've been to Jamaica at Christmas, I know what to expect there, but totally different in Montserrat. I found myself in the middle of this buzz of masquerade season and I was absolutely mesmerised. And in order to understand a bit more about masquerade, I want to look at the history about Montserrat. We've been talking about the transatlantic slave trade a lot over the last few weeks. And this is a video clip of Clarice in a female masquerade. So have a watch and see what this masquerade is actually looking like. Amazing, that really makes me want to move. So we're going to do a warm up now, all right? Let's go. Here we are. So let's just feel the rhythm. If you want to step together and just sway from side to side, we're going to do some shoulder raises first. 4 more on this side. Yes. And the other side. 4 more. Both shoulders forwards now. And down. Lovely. Forwards and down. How about backwards now? Up and down. Lovely. Up. I've got a bounce in my knees today. So if you feel like that, then bounce along with me. One arm all the way around. Take the whole time to do it. Really stretch up as you go. Same thing, other side. Oh, yes. Same thing again. Great. Other side. Let's swim it forwards. Stretch out. All the way. Yes, again. stretch out and all the way around. Let's shake from top to bottom. Top. And then back up again. Same thing, top. Feel the groove, back up again. Okay, have a listen to me. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. Have a go. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey. Very nice. E, oh, e, oh, e, oh, e. Your turn. E, oh, e, oh, e, oh, e. Up. E, oh, e, oh, e, oh, e. And your turn. E, oh, e, oh, e, oh. Have a listen. E, ooh. Have a go. E, ooh. How about this? Try that. How about this? Boo! And boo! Amazing, amazing. Very good indeed. We are going to do a little bit of a warm-up song today, and that warm-up song is going to be the Montserrat folk song, Good Morning, Good Morning, Good Morning, and How Are You This Morning? We're going to have the lyrics up so that you can sing along. It goes a little something like this. Good morning, and how are you this morning? Good morning, and how are you this morning? When you wake up morning, fly I tell you morning. So morning, neighbor, morning. So we're going to learn that and use that to continue to warm up our voices. The first bit goes like this. Good morning, and how are you this morning? Try that with me. Ready? 2, 3, 4. Good morning, and how are you this morning? Very nice indeed. The melody is a little bit of a upwards movement. Sounds like this. Good morning. Then we get, and how are you this morning? Try that with me. 2, 3, 4. And how are you this morning? We've got to make sure it's morning. Wonderful. If you're down the octave, and how are you this morning? That's where you are. All right, let's put those together. Ready, steady, here we go. Good morning, and how are you this morning? Very nice. The next bit is the same pattern, just a bit lower this time. So I'll sing it for you. It goes like this. Good morning, and how are you this morning? Try that with me. 2, 3. Good morning, and how are you this morning? Fabulous. Both of those together, the whole of the chorus. This is the chorus. If you're down here, you're here. You can be down here if you want to be. First bit goes like this. Ready, steady, off we go. Good morning, and how are you this morning? Good morning, and how are you this morning? Fabulous. I thought I'd sing along with the lower voices for a change today, just to give you a different flavour. The next bit goes like this. When you wake a morning, when you wake a morning, fly I tell you morning. So when you wake up in the morning, if the fly, the lowest of the insects, but if even a fly can wake up and tell you good morning, then you should definitely be polite and tell your neighbours in the morning when you see them. So the first bit is, when you wake a morning, fly I tell you morning. Sounds like this. When you wake a morning, fly I tell you morning. So you've got a nice little up and down. So you go here, one note down, and then back up. Let's do that together. 2, 3, and. When you wake a morning, fly, I tell you, morning. Fantastic. The next bit is like this. So morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning. Neighbor, neighbor, and that means neighbor. So morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning. So let's go from there. It goes, so morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning. Okay, let's put those two bits together. When you wake a morning, 2, 3, and when you wake a morning, fly, I tell you, morning. So morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning. And again, if you're lower down, choose the octave below. Amazing. Let's do now that whole chunk a little bit faster. Ready, 2, when you wake a morning, fly, I tell you, morning. So morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning. Wonderful stuff. We go back into the chorus then. Let's have a look at the second verse. The second words for the words for the second verse, even same melody as the first verse. So it goes like this: Do you see me tanso? Although you see the color of my skin, although you see me tanso. Do you see me tanso? Me come from decent people. I come from decent people. Same melody. Do you see me tanso? Me come from decent people. Do you see me tanso? Me come from decent people. Try that with me. Ready, 2, 3, and. Do you see me tanso? Me come from decent people. Do you see me tanso? Me come from decent people. Fantastic. That is the chorus coming up after that. So we're going to try the whole thing. I want you to just see if you can also just say hello to your neighbour as you do this. I'm hoping that everyone will be singing this on waking up every single morning for at least a week after this. I know I've been singing it this morning. I've been singing every morning for the last week. Let's try it. And good morning, and how are you this morning? Good morning, and how are you this morning? Very nice. We're going to move into the verse. We're just going to groove out here for a second. Getting ready with when you wake a morning, fly, I tell you, and when you wake a morning, fly, I tell you, morning. So morning, neighbor, morning, morning, neighbor, morning. Good morning, and how are you this morning? Good morning, and how are you this morning? We're going to do the words for the second verse in a sec. Just feel that groove. Do you see me tanso? Off we go. Do you see me tanso? Me come from decent people. Do you see me tanso? Me come from decent people. Good morning, and how are you this morning? Good morning, and how are you this morning? Oh, I love that song so much. Thank you so much, Clarice, for teaching me that one. Oh, it was wonderful. Okay, the history of Montserrat. It's really important, as we've been looking at every single week, to just have a bit of an understanding about the historical place in time and in geography where all of these wonderful things come from. So where Montserrat Masquerade comes from. And I had a wonderful experience this week talking to Clarice via Zoom. I found myself in a very precarious position of being given a lot of information to share, but also a duty of care not to share too much, because after all, Clarice explained to me that performing in a masquerade is kind of similar to being in a secret society. And she gave me a very brief history of Montserrat in this clip. Hello there, Dr. Clarice Barnes. It's lovely to see you today. Thank you for being here. How are you?
I'm fine, and it's lovely to see you as well.
Thank you so much for talking to me. I would love to get an understanding of what Montserratian masquerade is from you.
I think we're all trying to get an understanding of what it is. Some people refer to it as a peculiar mystery. Some of what is associated with the masquerade, we believe it to be a tradition that originated in West Africa, and it's representative of probably the various groups, African groups that were enslaved on Montserrat. And we believe that it possibly is rooted in Igbo and Yoruba traditions, but it might just be rooted in others. There's also a belief that it is connected somehow with the Irish heritage as well. Which part of it is connected with that is the interesting thing for us to talk about. Originally, the population of Montserrat was mainly European, and the dominant part of that was Irish. They were indentured servants mainly. Some actually were plantation owners. There's a belief that a group of Irish people left St. Kitts, which was the main British colony where Irish people were indentured. And some Irish people were trying to flee from Cromwell, and again from hostilities to them in Virginia. And they ended up in Montserrat. So there's that view. But there's the very well known, very well established view is that many of the Irish people who were on Montserrat were indentured servants to the English population, the English settlers who were there. And enslaved Africans were introduced into Montserrat around 1650. And by 1729, 50 of them were introduced then. And by 1729, which was 100 years later, there were over 6,000 Africans. And the Irish population decreased because they moved on to other places. Some went to Jamaica, some went to the States, and so forth. Yeah, so the dominant population of Montserrat is African. And because of that, we can conclude that this masking tradition, because West Africa is known for masking, is associated with the people who came into Montserrat as enslaved Africans. So we know we had Igbo people, we had Yoruba, we had people from Mali, we had Temne people. There's a whole variety, a whole mixture of people who came in as part of the transatlantic slave trade.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Barnes. What was fascinating about that is the connections between Europe and Montserrat. I find that really, really interesting. Very interesting to hear about the Irish connection as well. What you will see is in a Montserrat masquerade is this image. So there's an image here of Clarice actually in in a Montserrat masquerade mask, and you can see that she's got a pink wire gauze face mask. She kindly put this on in another little snippet of interview for me. It's a very interesting mask, and I really want to get when we go into the Zoom room afterwards, I want you to tell me how it felt to be confronted by somebody explaining something to you in a mask. So here is a little video of Clarice in her mask.
Face mask is the pink wire gauze mask, which is found in masquerade traditions up and down the Caribbean. But the Montserrat face mask and I'm showing it here. Let's
Wow.
put it on. It has something about it which allows it to look very benign, but also very intimidating, dependent on how you hold your head. And part of the mask, the face mask, is this hat, which some people believe is a bishop mitre, and that it represents the antagonisms of the Catholic Irish to the English. In other words, the African population was interpreting that and poking fun at the Catholic bishops. But that's one way of interpreting it. You have such headdresses present in masquerades up and down West Africa as well. Probably not the Christmas paper, but elongated headdress could be found around in masquerades up and down West Africa. Wow. So this is why I say it's a mystery. We are still trying to unravel what the symbolism is.
As you can see, the pink mesh mask can look rather intimidating depending on the angle at which the masquerade is bowing. Also, not being able to see the person underneath is also quite disconcerting. So what looks like someone politely bowing, for example, like this, could actually be way more sinister depending on the form of the body and the way the shoulders are moving. So you can get an idea of what that's like having seen Clarice in her mask. You also have a body mask, and this is a head to toe situation. So the costume of the mask, the clothing of the mask is the body mask. And the Montserrat masquerades, they wear bright clothing with lace, ribbons, and also mirrors, which are perhaps to deflect evil spirits. As with other elements of the masquerade, there's an assumption of a European connection. For example, it may look like Morris dances with the use of the ribbons and the lace, but their use of ribbons and lace is very, very well documented in Africa for many centuries. For Clarice, however, it's the brilliance of the colours of the body mask, the costume, that is a very definite representation of Africa, as you can see her there. Now, with the masquerade, it's not just what you look like, it's what it all sounds like as well, and the dancing that goes with it. The music of the masquerade is very interesting. It's used to hide or mask African expression. Remember, in a time when African expression would not have been allowed, it would have been, you cannot do that, you cannot communicate in this way, it would have been disallowed. But it's a way of masking that tradition within a European context. So have a little listen to some of these musical elements of the masquerade. What you'll see is that there's a military march, there's rumba, the music gets more energetic and acrobatic, as does the dancing as the mask goes on. It really strays away from anything that is refined and European, and the elements of African dance and of the true culture really shine through. Have a listen to this. This is greeting dance. This is the first number. As you can hear with that one, it's very military. It's when the masquerades, the group of masquerades, come into the place that they are going to perform their masquerade. That is the number that they use, the greeting. And you can see that there's a very military feeling with a bass drum, snare drum. There's a fife as well that happens in there too. What you'll find is that the masquerades bow as they enter. But again, like we said, that bowing with that mask, is it polite or is it is there something else? Masquerade, I forgot to say, is something that would have been performed kind of around Christmas time, when the plantation owners would have given the slaves time off and given them space to express themselves in dance. So this is why these African expressions are hidden within the context of the allowed European dances. In fact, some plantation owners would have brought in from Europe quadrille. Quadrille is a type of dance. They would have brought in quadrille masters, dance masters, who would have come and taught people how to do these European dances, which then at Christmas time get transformed into this masquerade that gets shifted into European but hiding something. Have a listen to another one of these. As I said, some of these songs are quadrilles, but they are based on songs, folk songs. This one is based on the song about an old man, Buddy Tom, who's trying to chat to a young girl and he's being teased about it. This is number 3. Amazing. We've got further songs. Like I said, the further and further we go into the masquerade, the faster and more energetic it comes to. You'll get songs that are based on African and Spanish influences as well, thrown together, really, really joining together. And you'll have a rumba. Have a little bit of a listen to this one, and you'll hear the difference. Gets more vigorous, with more syncopated rhythms as well. Amazing. You'll get a lot of foot stamping, a lot of shoulder movements as well happening in the final one, which gets really particularly vigorous and acrobatic. And I will play you a little bit of that as well. Difference, can't you? Yes, it is snare drums and it is march style and it feels military, but there is something within it that is hidden within it. My first memories of meeting Clarice as a child was about in 1997, when a major eruption happened, a volcano exploded, and it devastated the south of the island and buried the capital. And a large part of the island remains to this day an exclusion zone, so people can't really can't live there. But a lot of people then had to leave the island, which is why you'll find that Montserratians are in Canada, in England, in the United States, and you'll find masquerade groups in many different parts of the world. For example, there are masquerade groups in Leicester, there are masquerade groups in London as well. What's really interesting about, and again, like I said, the masquerade is a sort of secret society. So as much information as I would love to give you, I also feel a duty to make sure that I preserve the mystery of the masquerade. It's something that I really hope that you get to experience yourselves. And in fact, when we go into the other room, the Golden Spanner room, we are going to have a watch of a particularly wonderful group called the Emerald Chamiots performing a bit of masquerade as well. I, however, am going to teach you another song today. Two for one day today. And this one is Paddle Me Own Canoe. This is a song that speaks about an independence of spirit. And it goes like this. The lyrics are up for you, so you can have a go at singing along with me. How Okay, goes like this. You know how to cock up your foot. You think me I go walk for you. Me know how to borrow me head. Me paddle me own canoe. Tra la 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 la. Tra la 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 la. Tra la 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 la. Tra la 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 la. Let's have a go at learning that much of it. It's got a second verse as well, which we'll come to. Again, the second verse is the same melody as the first verse. Let's have a go at the first bit. So you've got you're na house a cock up your foot, which means you're in the house with your feet up, resting with your feet up. You think me I go walk for you. You think I'm going to work for you? Me na have for bother me head. I'm not going to bother myself. I'm not going to do it. Me paddle me own canoe. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to work for myself. So that's what the lyrics mean. Have a listen to the rhythm. You na house a cock up your foot. Try that for me. Ready and. You na house a cock up your foot. Lovely. First bit goes like this. You na house a cock up your foot. Try that for me. Ready and. You na house a cock up your foot. Very nice. The next bit goes like this. You think me I go walk for you. You think me I go. Let's put those three words together. Swoosh them together. You think me I go walk for you. Try that for me. Ready and. You think me I go walk for you. Very nice. Let's put those two together. Starting here if you've got a higher voice. Starting here if you want to go lower. Okay? 2, 3, and. You know how to cock up your foot. You think me I go walk for you. Very nice. Have a listen to the next line. Me no half to bottle me head. It's the same as the first line, so the melody repeats. I'll do that again. Me no half to bottle me head. Try that with me. Ready and. Me no half to bottle me head. Lovely, fantastic. If you're down here, me no half to bottle me head. Ooh. I don't sing down there very often, that's why. Have a go with me. Ready and. Me no half to bottle me head. Very nice. Me paddle me on canoe. Try that for me. Ready and. Me paddle me on canoe. Very nice indeed. Let's go from me no half for bottom me head. Let's try that. Ready and. Me no half for bottom me head. Me paddle me on canoe. Fabulous. Let's do the whole of that first verse, okay? Ready? 1 and 2. You know how to cock up your foot. You think me I go walk for you. Me no half for bottom me head. Me paddle me on canoe. Fantastic. I've been singing this as well this week a lot. Tra la 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 la. Tra la 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 la. That's your first little bit of the chorus. Tra la 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 la. Just try that for me. Ready and. Tra la 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 la. Again, if you're lower down, you'll hear tra la 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 la. Fantastic. The next bit goes like this. Tra la 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 la. Try that for me. Ready and tra la 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 la. Very nice. Let's put those two together. See where we are with that. Okay. 1 and 2. Tra la 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 la. Tra la 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 la. Fantastic. The next little bit is the. Yeah? Very similar to the ba 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 ba, but with tra-la-las. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, la-la-la-la-la-la. Very nice indeed. Have a go at the whole of the chorus now. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la. Amazing stuff. We can also do me no half for bottom me head as well. Let's try just the beginning into the chorus and then we'll look at verse 2. 1, 2, here we go. You know how to cock up your foot, you think me I go walk for you. Me no have for borrow me head, me paddle me on canoe. Tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la, tra la 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 la. Fantastic. The second verse has these words. Me na have for bother me head, me paddle me on canoe. Same words as the first verse, but we're doing the different melody to it. So it sounds like this instead. Me no have for bother me head, me paddle me on canoe. Okay, the next bit goes. Me mommy dead and me daddy dead, me paddle me on canoe. So my father's gone, my mother's gone, I'm by myself and I paddle my own canoe, okay? Let's have a go at putting all of that together. Verse 2, ready? And 1 and 2. Me no have a bottle me head, me paddle me own canoe. Me mommy dead and me daddy dead, me paddle me own canoe. Then we go into the chorus, tra-la-la, okay? Fabulous stuff. Let's try going all the way from the very beginning all the way to the end now. Are you ready? And you know how to cock up your foot, you think me I go walk for you. Me no have a bottle me head, me paddle me on canoe. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la. Me no have a bottle me head, me paddle me on canoe. Me mommy dead and me daddy dead, me paddle me on canoe. And tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la-la-la. Ah, fabulous stuff. In Montserrat, after the volcanic eruption, when people left the island to go to other countries to live, it was women in the community who didn't want the tradition to die out. So they decided, in order to preserve the tradition, to teach it to the children. And out of this passing down of heritage of masquerade, troops such as the fantastic Emerald Chamiots came into being. We'll watch a clip of them, like I said, in the Zoom room. Women also, such as Clarice, also decided that they themselves would take part in the masquerade, which was totally unheard of before, because masquerade for the most part is performed by men. And in fact, the first time I went to Montserrat was the first time that an all-female masquerade group took part in the tradition. And the tradition continues to evolve to the point even where a green face mask and a green body mask has been developed in recent years by Shirley Osborne as well. It has been such a pleasure. There is when I tell you there is so much more about Montserrat Masquerade that I could tell you. I could go on for days. It has been an absolute week of discovery for me, and it's been so beautiful to be immersed in it. But like Clarice said, it is like a secret society, and there are tiny little things that happen when you meet other people from a masquerade. The way that the masquerade is formed up of somebody who is the sort of a conductor who he kind of guides the masquerades, tells them which numbers they are going to be doing, things like that. There's so much stuff, but we're going to keep them a bit of the mystery. Other people that you can have a little look at, look at the Emerald Chamiots on YouTube. It's absolutely fantastic. The Aluagana singers from Montserrat originally, they perform in the UK. You can find them on Facebook. The Emerald community singers as well. Have a listen to some of that music. Thank you so much, by the way, to ZJB Radio Montserrat for allowing me to share these little snippets of the Montserrat Masquerade music. And also thank you very much to Veronica Fleming from Strictly Cultural on Etsy for my lovely fabric. It's been so beautiful to discover this. I hope that you have enjoyed discovering it as much as I have this week. And I will see you next week, but I will see some of you in the Zoom room, Golden Spanner Room, in a minute. Take care, guys. Thanks for being here again. Bye.